Yes, yes. It's the week five spreads of the week. We're going to run you through every single NFL spread and let you know who we're going to take. Overall standings this year. My compatriot, Mike, at 50%, doing very well there. I'm down at 35%. It was a so-so week for us last week, Mike.
Yeah, it felt like it at the time as well. Didn't feel like there were too many going in my favor. I'm actually quite happy with six because there were some sweaty ones there that I feel like I got by the skin of my teeth. So relieved to get through that week with a six and reevaluate. I do always feel this time of year is tricky with the international series starting as well because you couldn't have seen the Vikings playing that poorly in Dublin on the cards. They were dreadful, dreadful.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, when you get whooped like that by this aging Steelers team, that is a not a good sign.
The concern, yeah. And then you had the Panthers blowing the Falcons out last week, and then the Panthers not even showing up in New England there as well. Just about a 60-point swing in both those games. So it has been odd. It's been hard to call. You're at 50% on the year. I'm at 35%. And let's get into week five now because, well, we both picked the Rams to cover last night and take the L there as well. An inspired Niners performance in the end there.
Yeah, well, I very briefly I will say on this, I was incredibly impressed. They're not always my favorite team, the Niners, but yeah, the amount of people they've got injured at the moment, it's just a ridiculously good performance. Would have thought the Rams would be more comfortable. We should have known better. Those games are always close, and I think the Niners. I think Shanahan is like 9-1 in the regular season over Sean McVay or something. It's something ridiculous like that. Um,
That's great.
so yeah, we should have known better. But alas, I did. I wanted to go with the Niners. My heart did, and then my head said no. They've got too many injuries, so I should have gone with my heart there.
Yeah, you
Um,
should have. Yeah. Oh
speaking of
well.
speaking of going with the heart, your hometown Cleveland Browns. Not that they hold a particularly fond place in your heart, Tom. Having to watch them every week, it must be painful. But here they are in London, of all places, down the road from
Yeah.
me.
Um,
Tottenham's
I've,
first.
I've got a strong feeling on this one, if you
Okay.
don't mind, I'll go.
No, no, go for it. Go for it.
The Vikings cover. The Vikings bounce back from a terrible Dublin game, as we were just saying, and get a cover here. This Browns team can cause you issues at home with that defense on the nice grassy turf on the cold Cleveland field there with the wind ripping through. But I'm afraid they traveled terribly, Mike. We saw them get destroyed by the Lions last week, and some special teams gaffes often plague this Browns team. I just don't see that unit traveling very well here. I was surprised when I saw this spread, to be honest. I thought it might be a 5 or 6 pointer. Quite happy to take the Vikings here to win by the touchdown.
They've benched Flacco for this game as well, haven't they, the Browns? Or is he going to play this game and then he's benched when he gets back to the US?
I'm not sure. I thought he was playing. Yeah.
No, they're playing the rookie.
Oh no, Dylan Gabriel's playing. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're playing Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Vikings here as well. It's
Oof.
Dylan Gabriel was an admirable college player, but I think to be honest, he was the Browns took him higher than I would have done in the draft. And on top of that, it's probably one of the most sophisticated NFL defensive schemes he'll be going up against on his
Yeah.
debut. And they've been in the country a week longer, so they had time to acclimatize. I'd just be very surprised. I mean, the Browns' defense is excellent, and the Vikings are in a world of trouble on offense.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz played well against the Bengals, who were getting absolutely drubbed on offense by the Vikings defense. But when it got into a tight game, Wentz sort of showed he's very much an NFL backup still, playing very poorly last week. So yeah, that is the only thing that will keep it close. But I actually don't think it will be. I think the Vikings could win this by 10 points, make it a bit of a laugher, to be honest. Poor Dylan Gabriel is what I say. He doesn't deserve that as a debut in the UK against the Vikings on a yeah. It's just a
Yeah.
it's just
That is a bit of a shafting there. Yeah. You feel like that might be a Jimmy Haslam decision coming
yeah.
down.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or the coaches are just now they're in panic mode. They're scrambling to save their jobs, one or the other. Yeah, because it's not a rational decision. You would play Flacco for that one, and then
Yeah.
play Gabriel at home the next week would be my thinking. But anyway,
For sure.
um, okay,
Oh,
Giants
yeah.
and Saints. We seem to have lost the info here. I don't seem to
God,
have
it's a
the
real toilet bowl. Yeah,
minus
that line
two.
is correct. Yeah, 2 point spread.
Wow,
Uh,
Saints are favored by 2 points. Is that right?
yeah, they are. The 0 and 4 Saints.
Okay,
I, I
that's surprising.
don't make
Um,
any sense to me.
that is surprising. I mean, um, go on. I'm going to take the Saints to win. I'm going to take them to cover that. They're going to win by a field goal and a scrappy one. Get both teams to 1-4, which actually kind of reflects probably their standing in the league at the moment. I don't think Dart will play. I don't think Dart will be the issue. I just think at the moment, that they didn't. I watched the All 22 of his debut, and there wasn't a huge amount with his arm. I think he's going to have to do a lot more with his arm um, to win more games in the NFL. But obviously, he's a threat on the ground at the moment, which is going to be a problem for the Saints. But I think Rattler actually, despite not being surrounded by much, has played pretty admirably this season and at
Yeah.
home and desperation to get off the schneid here, I think gets the Saints a win.
Yeah, I mean that Kellen Moore's first win has got to come from somewhere. This is probably a good week for it to happen. The Saints have burned me too often this year, though, Mike. I'm going to take the Giants to cover on this one. Just the Saints just sicken me. I mean, some of these performances have been pathetic by them, honestly. So I think the Giants have a bit more moxie now with Dart starting and Cam Scatterboo. I think their defense will travel, and the Superdome ain't what it used to be. So I'll take the Giants. Nice differ there.
Scadaboo,
Scatterboo. Scatterwho? Scatterboo?
scadaboo. Um, right, so the Athletic website has miraculously recovered, so we do have the spread on this game. We just didn't have it on the previous one. So yeah, you're on it, Tom. Texans at Ravens. A, a
Well,
Texan
Lamar
road
Jackson
favorite.
injury status here? I mean, what's going on here? Uh,
If Lamar Jackson isn't playing, I mean that is just makes it automatic. You would have thought.
yeah, I mean, he hasn't practiced this week. Their backup is the former Cowboys lad.
Yeah.
We'll forget his name now, but
Oh,
he's in the same
Orangan,
mold as
Orangan. What's his name?
Cooper Rush, is it?
Cooper Rush. That's it. I always
Yeah,
forget his name. He
yeah.
looks a little, he kind of looks like Jason Garrett as well. He's like the perfect Cowboys
Does
backup quarterback.
kind of. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure he has a strong Christian faith as well. Um, um, So with that, I'm gonna stay pat on this until we get the full Lamar Jackson story because I mean it'll be a close game even without him. I'm sure if he's injured, I'll probably take the Texans. But I'm gonna reserve the right to change this one depending on if he plays or not. The Texans have been a terrible team for the spreads as well this year. Just can't trust them at all. But yeah, if Cooper Rush is playing, I'll take him.
Yeah, so exactly the same. I'll have to have a think about it if Lamar is playing. I just don't see how he can be if he hasn't practiced all week. But yeah, I'm going to take the
Yeah.
Texans. Something underrated in this game is matchup wise, obviously the Texans offense versus the depleted Ravens defense, but also on defense. I think the Texans match up really well with the Ravens.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Ravens not the best pass blocking unit at offensive tackle, and the Texans have the best edge combo in the NFL.
Hmm.
Um, in Hunter and Anderson. So I think that could actually, even if Lamar's playing, if he's hobbled at all, that could be an absolute issue for them. The Ravens tackle play has just been dreadful for a long time. They get away with it. And to be fair, they don't invest in it because they've got Lamar, so they just don't think they'll ever. They think he can get them out of trouble if he needs to with his legs. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're Cooper Rush is going to struggle if he gets the same level of tackle play as Lamar Jackson is used to.
Yeah, for sure. All right. And
Right.
now we go to MetLife Stadium. We were just lamenting the turf at MetLife taking another season ender, taking Malik Neighbors out recently. Um, but the Cowboys used to play on some turf themselves, Mike. So
Good point.
let's see. Yeah, who is to pick? I totally forgot. I think it's you.
Yeah, it's me. I think I'm going to take the Cowboys. I was pleasantly surprised in their tie with the Packers. Obviously, that's one I got wrong last week. I thought they'd get thumped, and they did not.
Mm.
I think they're playing quite well on offense. Obviously, the defense is an issue, but quite frankly, this is only a they only need a field goal win here to get the cover for me. And
Yeah,
the Jets are, I mean, I'm a sicko, so I watched that entire Jets Dolphins game
yeah,
last on Monday night, sorry, and it was just error filled, um, just, just shooting themselves in the foot constantly. Fields is not actually playing badly,
No.
bizarrely. He's sort of he's playing manfully behind a pretty ropey offensive line in pass protection, and then they're just making constant errors with pre-snap penalties and things like that, and silly holds, and I just don't think they look organized or in the shape to win many NFL games at the moment. So given that, I'm just going to take the Cowboys to win the game by a field goal.
Yeah, I agree. Same way I feel about Kellen Moore and the Saints. I don't think Aaron Glenn's an NFL head coach. Unfortunately, I think the coaches like that are better off just calling their plays and their setting their specialties on offense or defense. Jets have really disappointed this year. I do think I'm going to take the Cowboys. Cowboys have done me well this year. I did pick them to cover against the Packers. They
You did.
also had a willful cover against the Eagles early on this year. So I'm not going to back against them. I think that's, like you said, the field goal was nice there. Dak playing some very good football, actually.
Yeah, no, he is. The touchdown numbers aren't there yet, but he's playing well within the system. I will say that he's doing well, much to my chagrin. It's all right. He won't threaten us at the top of the NFC East, I don't think, unless we take some injuries. Right, Dolphins at Panthers. What do you got?
1.5 spread. Dolphins are favored. Yeah, I mean the Panthers really performed well in that one game. That was a divisional game, so maybe we shouldn't read too much into that because they've looked pretty atrocious otherwise. I think we both got burned thinking they'd get a plucky cover last week away to New England, and that was just a slaughtering. The Dolphins looking pretty good, even with the Hill injury. I think they've got enough in the running game there. Quite a nice tandem actually developing with Ollie Gordon and Devon Achane, a bit of a thunder and lightning there themselves down in Miami. I think that's going to be too much with Tua just controlling things. The Dolphins comfy win here. I mean, I don't know about you, but this is an odd spread to me. Makes me feel like someone knows something here. But yeah, this should be a almost a touchdown for me. The Dolphins should be favored. I think this is a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, I like everything you said there. I agree. I think Dolphins are going to cover. I love that backfield actually. Achane and Gordon. I thought that was really fun the other night to
Yeah.
watch. And in a way, it almost simplifies things. You're not a better team if Tyreek Hill is injured. I'm not saying that, but in a way, it does make things a bit more straightforward for McDaniel and Tua. They don't have to get in the ball.
Yeah.
They can make. Oh, come on, the out
Waddle.
Waddle. They can make Waddle the star of the show. I thought the tight end looked brilliant. Off the street there. Oh, what's his name? The
Oh,
ex-Raiders tight end. Oh,
Waller. Yeah.
Darren Waller. I mean,
Yeah.
he's actually a really interesting fit for this offense because he can play away from the line of scrimmage. He won't have to be down in line blocking ever. And Tua will just pop the ball up to him over the middle of the field with some flight on it, and he can go up and get it. It looks like a good combination. So I think that
Yeah.
could be quite fun. I really enjoyed watching that offense actually last week against the Jets. I thought I was that's what kept me engaged with the game really, and I
Yeah.
just think the Panthers don't have any dynamism like that on offense or defense. So on that alone, I'm just going to take the Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good points there.
That handoff, that end around that the Dolphins had, like the special ball handling from Tua, that was
A
sensational.
backdoor pass there out of the middle. Glorious.
My play of the week. That was lovely.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
okay, so I did go previously. So shall I? Are the Chiefs playing this week or are they on a bye?
no, Chiefs are playing. So yeah, you take the
Okay,
Eagles.
I'll take this and then you can take that later. So Broncos at Birds.
I think they started at 3.5 when I checked earlier in the week. So money coming in on the Eagles.
Yeah, obviously the Broncos, Vic Fangio, former Broncos head coach. Some of those players,
Mm.
Cortland Sutton, still on the roster.
Yeah,
Um,
still kicking around.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Birds here. I think at home. It's a very good. It's a very good Broncos defense. I don't think this will be the week that AJ Brown gets right. So that that whole facade will not charade, is that the word? Will carry on.
Saga, I would call them.
Saga, yeah, that whole saga, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Tom. That whole saga will carry on for another week. But the Eagles defense is playing absolutely lights out at the moment. Last week, half of Mayfield's 300 passing yards came on two ridiculous, fluky chucks up in the air. And apart from
Yeah.
that, Mitchell and Cooper DeJean just locked people down. And I don't really see that changing. I don't think the Broncos have a quarterback or any weapons on the outside that will remotely scare the Eagles defense. So I think a low scoring game where the Eagles win by 10, potentially something like a 17-7 win,
Yeah.
just to keep the train rolling. Go Birds.
I think so. Yeah, you've been burned on the Eagles a few times. You've picked against them a few times this year. So good to see you backing your guys now because I mean they are the best team in football by a distance for me at the moment. They seem to be unbeatable to be honest. Even when you think you've got them down, and this isn't the sort of game the Broncos like. I know we said last week we want to see them blow someone out, and they did. They destroyed a weak Bengals team, and it was all very easy for Bo when it was on script. There was no pressure, but there's going to be a ton of pressure here on him at the link. If they get down by 10 as well, it could be bad for them. So I'm going to side with you here, take the Eagles. And yeah, I just think defensively, the Eagles are going to have too much for this. An improving Broncos defense, but this team still isn't ready to win these games for me.
No, I agree. That doesn't make them a bad team. I just think that
No,
they're sort of like a fringe playoff team still at the moment, and the Eagles are defending champs. So that's
yeah.
a fair comment. Um, okay, so Raiders at Colts.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, goodness me. Well, it's you to go first, obviously.
Yeah, a bit of a hmm.
Tough one.
This seems like the sort of game the Raiders will cover here. But like I've said, and I've said a lot of these spreads have surprised me because they're too tight. But I actually think this is a bit too long, this spread here.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
these teams are more evenly matched than that would suggest. The Raiders showed a little something last week, finally getting the boy Genti going. But it was trucking people all over the place. Had a few receiving touchdowns as well. So be fun to see him against Jonathan Taylor. I think the Raiders just make enough splash plays here to keep this one close. And the Colts, yeah, but if the Colts win, it's not going to be by more than a field goal for me anyway. So I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah, well, not really too much to add to that. I agree. I think the Colts are a good team. I don't think they're an elite team. I don't think they come in at home and just blow out a road team and just go to the locker room. I think every game is going to be hard fought for them this season, even if they do end up winning the majority of them. So, yeah, I agree with that. I don't see any reason why to believe this will be a touchdown win for the Colts. So,
Yeah.
famous last words, obviously, but yeah, there you go. Um, right, my internet connection is unstable apparently. Well, that's good news.
Oh, it's
Um,
looking all right to me. No, no
yeah, my
qualms.
my laptop with a handy hint there. Um, Tennessee at Arizona. Oh,
Oh, Nelly.
oh baby. Um, well, obviously, I've just finished watching the All 22 of Cam Ward versus the Texans. Yeah, not
You don't
good.
sound too bad.
Well, it's a problem. I mean, they basically finished the game with 7 and 8 men in protection and only a couple of people out on routes because they couldn't stop anybody. So the Cardinals have got pretty decent defensive players. I think the head coach might have lost the locker room there in Tennessee.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
so I'm going to take the
He'll be the
Cardinals.
first to go.
Yeah, he will be because he wasn't like a big flashy hire. Um,
Yeah.
he's had enough time to show, and he's shown absolutely nothing, has he really? Um, and yeah, they've got to make a change for Cam Ward's sake, to be honest. So I'm going to take the Cardinals here, just because I, I would totally understand. I don't feel good about it. I think it's too many points, but at the same time, how can you possibly back the Titans after what we saw after watching the film from last week on offense? I just can't. I don't see how they score more than 10 points, and I just think the Cardinals can score 20. So there you go. That would be a cover.
Yeah, the Titans haven't covered a single spread this year as well, we should say. 0-4 for them. So I do think things are getting out of hand there. You got Cam Ward coming out and berating people in the press conference last week. So I think it's gone there. Head's gone. So yeah, Arizona, comfy cover, get this team back on the track in an interesting NFC West. Heating up very nicely that division.
Yeah, Tennessee on track for two back-to-back for first overall picks. My goodness. I'd suggest they need an offensive tackle. Um, right. They'll ignore me and draft a fucking receiver. Everyone does. Um, Buccaneers at Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah, okay. 3 point spread, Buccaneers at the Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks.
I think this is me, isn't
They
it?
have looked good. I mean, they overcame the Cards last week, so they've had a bit of a rest since their Thursday night game. I'm going to take the Bucks here, just for the Bucks to get back on track. I think last week's performance against Philly was a bit of an anomaly, and the Bucks are a slightly better all-round team than the Seahawks. I'm just a big fan of betting against the Seahawks on the spread when they're at home because I don't really feel like they have a home field advantage these days, as I've said. So I'm going to take the Bucks to cover. And actually, I had 3.5 on the spread earlier, so I think I'd be happy to take them at 3.5 get the half-point win there.
Are you making it 3.5? Mine.
Yeah, but if you want to take the Seahawks, you could take them at -2.5, just so we get a result.
Oh, okay.
Just
Um,
swing it either way.
yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to do that actually for the Hawks.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying about the Bucks. They obviously were impressive last week. Although maybe I've got my Eagles hat on. I did feel the long touchdown to that got them back, got them jump started was very streaky. I mean, that was a turnover worthy throw
Oh yeah.
down late down the middle of the field, which the Eagles should have picked off, and then that would have buried that game. Mayfield then threw another threw a terrible interception later. And the Seahawks defensive unit is playing elite football at the moment. I just think Darnold is playing really tidily as well. He's not causing any issues. Walker and Charbonnet are a problem in the backfield. I just think I think the Seahawks. I feel like it's gotten a little bit louder there this season. I think the fans are seeing actually this thing might be back on the right track again. And as with all American sports, the team actually has to be good before you get any fan support. So they seem the 12s are back in it in Seattle. So yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I mean, you always convinced me there. I mean, they've really elevated their play on offense this year compared to where they were last year. The running game is looking really good. So, um, yeah, I'll back the Bucks again this week, and if they let me down again, I might get on the Seahawks train with you, but we'll see.
Tough run of games for the Bucks. I do feel a bit. They must have some. They must have their NFC South slate coming up where they can just absolutely feast on people.
Tee off on people. Yeah, they'll be 6-0 in that division probably, but
Yeah,
not bad for the Titans as well. I was thinking because they were away last week at Houston, and now they're at Arizona. It's rough
yeah,
for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cam Ward has to look at the three deep safeties that Gannon et al. Have got going on in Arizona. It's a very confusing defense. I forgot to say that. Yeah, poor Cam Ward. He's having a night.
It's quite a nice tidbit that. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
all right. Oh, well, this would have been an absolute stormer
oh,
if the Bungles hadn't bungled already this season. So their season is over.
mm.
Um, where do they get a win?
Well, can they cover 10.5? It's the biggest spread of the week.
No, Lions. Lions for me. I think this could be three touchdowns.
I'm going to differ because it's at Cincy. I think they'll do enough to keep it close here.
Fair enough.
Lions still haven't convinced me to. I mean, the Browns made so many special teams errors last week to handle that game. I'm still not comfy taking Detroit as a double-digit favorite at the moment.
No, fair enough. I think they've looked much improved from the first week, in my opinion. I
Mm.
do see them a bit differently, I think, than you. I think they've been incredibly impressive since that game. It looks like a really impressed with how the continuity on offense. When the Eagles have to change a coordinator,
Yeah.
the whole thing takes weeks and weeks. We seem to take months to figure out how we want to play. And the Lions have had one bad week at Green Bay, and then everything is like clicked again, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Really.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's not. I don't think it's Jake Browning's fault in Cincinnati that it's a bizarrely constructed roster. You've got all the money invested in two wide receivers. You've got no offensive line and no defense. Which when you need to run the ball and play good defense because your star quarterback's injured does leave you lacking, shall we say?
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I think that I think he'll be the next head coach to go as well because he's certainly had his chance there.
Yeah.
Um, right, Commanders at
Ooh,
Chargers. I think this
quite
is
a sneaky
but
game here.
I got quite angry with the Bengals there. That's
Yeah,
I, I didn't know that
went to a dark place here.
I didn't know that was going to happen. So we kind of rushed through that one, but yeah,
That's
I've
fine.
pretty much said all I wanted to say on it. Goodness me,
No,
we've
I'm
got
fine
10
with
minutes left,
that.
by the way. FYI.
Yeah, so I think we've only got three spreads left to pick, so that's
Ah,
we're going pretty
we
well.
can relax. We can put our feet up here.
Well, we can realize, and I mean, this is worth talking about because it's a good game.
Is
Good
Jaden
game.
playing?
I think Daniels is going to be playing, right?
If he's not, he must be. With that line, he must be playing. Otherwise, it would be like 8 points or something. Although I guess the Chargers did lose in a horror show last week.
Yeah, no, he is playing. He is playing. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good game. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
pleased
it
about it.
is. Um, Pretty much the line I would expect.
Yeah,
It's
I've got no
yeah,
problems with that line. I think that's fair.
yeah, I think it's fair. And I like the Chargers on the line because it's a field goal win. And I think it was a bit of an anomaly for them last week. I'd expect, this isn't the sort of team that's going to go off the rails after one bad performance against the Giants. Harbaugh will get them back on track. Herbert's a veteran quarterback now, so no qualms there. And I think they're going to be able to run the ball against this Commanders unit, which has lost a little bit on defense since their big playoff run last year. So with Daniels coming back, let's see how that is. For now, I'm just going to take what I know, and that's the Chargers will be very solid and just scrape out a win here.
Yeah, I agree. I read an interesting stat this week that the Commanders on age-weighted snaps. So what that means is the average age of the players who get to take the vast majority of your snaps. So the oldest team in the NFL, the
Oh,
Commanders.
interesting.
So they're
Wow.
playing a lot of veteran players on both sides of the ball.
Hmm.
And it kind of looks like it at the moment. You've got Zach Ertz still out there. I know he does okay for them, but is that
I don't know. Austin Eckler is the third down back.
uh,
It's a bit passe.
Brian, that Robinson trade to the 49ers is bizarre at running back
Oh, that was
because
weird. Yeah,
that was
really
weird.
weird.
And he doesn't even get a snap for the 49ers. He never
Yeah.
plays for them. And the Commanders could really use him. I don't know. It's really strange. And I think Harbaugh will have gone old school on the Chargers this week. I think they'll have been running pukers and gases and up and down stairs and like yeah. I think some shit will have hit the fan in LA this week after that performance in New York. They're back at home in familiar surroundings, and I think this is kind of a get right. I agree with you that um, the other thing is they've been very pass happy this season, the Chargers, and I think Harbaugh after that result last week might be like, sod this Commanders front doesn't look great. Omarion Hampton had a bit of a breakout last week. Let's feed him this week.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping with my fantasy team, I've put him in on the flex in one of my leagues because I'm hoping Harbaugh will start to feed him here.
Yeah,
And
you will. Yeah.
I
Averaging
think,
five a carry. Very good.
yeah. Um, So yeah, I don't know. The Commanders are a funny team. I hadn't realized their age situation. Seems like a weird way to build a roster around
Yeah.
a good, promising young quarterback. So yeah, me too. Chargers.
Fair point.
Um,
Um, yeah, the next one is it's a big spread. Oof. This is a Sunday night game as well. God. Yeah,
interesting,
8 point.
interesting. That surprises me slightly
Do you
because
think?
yeah, a little bit. Well, because the Patriots played well last week.
Oh, man, I thought you thought it was going to be more. I mean, the Bills were made 15-point home favorites last week against the Saints. So this is
Yeah,
quite
well, but the
a
Saints are
quite a
dreadful.
reduction.
The Saints are cellar dwelling. The Patriots will be in almost they'll be either 8 or 9 or 9 and 8. They'll be right around 500. They're not a bad team,
Oh,
the
really?
Patriots.
You
Yeah.
think? Oh, okay. I'm not as high on them as you are.
I don't think they're a bad team. They've got veteran coaching. I think they'll be all right. They've got a
No.
quarterback. Drake
Yeah.
May is better than half of the quarterbacks in the league, maybe. So maybe he'd be like
Oh,
17th, 18th best in the league for me, something like that at the
I
moment.
mean, I think they're going to beat teams around their level, but I don't know about beating anyone over 500. Let's see.
I don't think they're going to beat the Bills, just to be clear.
No,
But
no, no.
well, I think we know which way we're both going to go on this. So who's
Yeah,
go?
a little differ here.
I've forgotten whose go it is first.
Is you to go first.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
me to go first.
I'll just
Yeah,
yakking on.
yeah, yeah. No worries. Well, I think so. The Patriots defense, they spent a lot of money on it. I don't
Mm,
think it's really going to. They haven't played that well so far, which obviously Vrabel will not be pleased with. But I
mm.
don't think they're really. So I don't think they're really going to slow the Bills down. So fair enough. I hear you. I think the Bills are going to put up a lot of points here at home
Mm,
in prime time. The thing is, the Bills' defense is terrible, and it has been for years.
mm.
It was awful. Like how they let the Chiefs, that depleted Chiefs offense, just absolutely pick them apart in the AFC Championship game last year. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I think the Patriots, I think they're plucky on offense. I think Ramondre Stevenson's a good back. I think Drake May is playing very promisingly in his second NFL season.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna say the Patriots keep it close. The Bills win by a touchdown, but I will cover the spread.
Yeah. That's fair enough. It's good points. I think if it was a home game, I'd feel a lot more confident. In fact, it's
Yeah,
in
fair enough.
Buffalo. In Buffalo on Sunday night. I mean, this season we've seen some inspired divisional home covers. I mean, I talked about the Panthers whooping the Falcons. I mean, top of my head, you also had the Browns getting a handy cover against the Bengals, but those are all home teams in the divisional. When it's an away team, I'm a bit more reticent to make a call like that. So I'm going to take the Bills just to score more points here. I think the Pats could certainly put up 30 on the Bills, but the Bills could put up more. So I think they're going to roll here on Sunday night.
Okay, nice differ. Um, so then we have
That's just the Monday night game, and it's we're
attention.
going to Duval County.
Ooh, oh, this is a sneaky fun one. I'm
Yeah,
pleased
it
about
is.
this. It's
Yeah, there's
good.
been some good games between these two in the past.
Yeah, Memor
Um,
memorably in the playoffs, I believe. No,
yeah,
no, it was in the
well,
playoffs.
it was a quite a comfy win in the end of the playoffs,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's been some regular season ones that have been a bit tight. So Chiefs going in as 3 point, I had it at 3.5, so maybe we pump it up to that to get results. Tough to bet against. I was really happy with what I saw from the Chiefs last week against the depleted Ravens side, but what a difference having Xavier Worthy back. That seemed to make everything click. The running game was going as well. So as good as this Jags defense has played, and they've really played above anyone's expectations this year. Oh, God, this is tough. Well, I might take the Jags actually.
Oh
I think
no, he's gone. His head's gone. He's completely changed.
I think
He's talked.
I think I've convinced myself. Well, but because I was just looking at their stats earlier, it's absolutely absurd the amount of
Yeah,
interceptions they've got this year. The Jags, I think they're averaging like two a game
yeah.
um, on defense and keeping opponents at scoring low. This could be a tight Chiefs Bucker walk off. Well, Bucker hasn't been kicking well either. Good Lord. Okay, right. I'm going to take the Jags. I've convinced myself.
He just, that was a peek behind the curtain there of your how your mind works. You just talked yourself out of it completely.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I will say that I rode the Jags last week at the Niners, and I was happy with that. So I probably should stick with them again to get that cover. Yeah, go on. I'll take the Jags.
Jaguares.
Mm.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Hmm.
I still think they're the first or second best team in the AFC,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
the Jags aren't. And I think I totally hear what you're saying about the Jags defense. They are a really fun unit to watch. Actually, they've got all those first round picks on the defensive line, and then they're playing zone and snaring the ball behind it, which is fun. But
Yeah, their
Trevor
mid
Trevor Lawrence,
linebacker, the beast.
I think,
Foye Aluakon, I think, was a
yeah,
Brazilian.
yeah. I think Spags will be looking at Trevor Lawrence and thinking he's going to throw us a couple. We just have to catch them.
Yeah, he's the yeah.
So, so I think, yeah, I think I'm just going to say the Chiefs purely on reputation and uh, experience in these in these games under the lights. Really,
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think Duval could be rocking though on Monday night. It's an odd stadium that, but sometimes they get up for those games. So let's see. Should be a fun one.
yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be watching that on a full game replay.
Yeah, lovely. Well, that's a good job. We got through our body of work there nicely, and yeah, until next week, we'll go well, Mike.
Go well.